To the residents and officials of Lake Township, I have sat at this meeting table since November 20th at 12 meetings counting today. These meetings have been strange to say the least. We are 5 individuals elected by the residents of Lake Township to represent the interests of our community, not a select few. While each of us brings our own thoughts and ideas to the table, an open debate is a good quality of an elected body for sound decision-making. This board has descended to a level of behind-the-scenes governance, exhibiting a lack of respect not only for fellow board members but also for the community at large. As an elected body, there are laws that must be followed. Mr. Heiser has stated in meetings that we do not need to follow the laws. Mr. Smith has suggested we might need to change the laws. And apparently our Board of Review believes the laws applying to tax assessment, first adopted in 1893, known as the General Property Tax Act, are outdated. I had hoped that cooperation and respect among this board would start to improve with time, but it only seems to be increasing in its intensity. With that said, I would like everyone present here to understand that I have given much thought to what I'm about to read. But the divisiveness and hatred brewing among a few people in Lake Township is undermining the foundation of our community, which many of us have nurtured and taken pride in over the past many years, and I am disappointed and disgusted by their actions. I am in office here to do the job of clerk. I am not here to argue and bicker with board members. I have attempted to keep new members informed of proper procedures based upon the laws of the state, but my input apparently has caused great animosity to the point that the anger and hatred in this township are palpable. The following emails came to the township via our webmail. At first I just printed and filed them, but tonight I want everyone present here to hear what is going on and some of the parties involved. Since these emails came to the township, they are public record. The first email came March 8th. Hi there, this is amazing. Hey, what are your thoughts on beginning a recall on Valerie? Dorothy Fisher told me the other day that once again, Valerie just does her own thing, not keeping with the rules. This is one thing I am referring to regarding writing checks. Valerie is supposed to ask Dorothy first if there is enough money to do so. Well, when she didn't ask first, Dorothy confronted her about this. She replied, I am too busy. I don't have time for this. If she is too busy to do what the rules say, perhaps she is too busy for Lake Township. She doesn't work with Bob Smith. She doesn't do what the rules say. I am for getting rid of her. Drop me a note back. I am going to Louis and Yvonne's some night this week for dinner, and we could begin talking about it. Signed, me. That was from Deb McBride. Pat Pricep responded, when do we get started? I just received the latest Lake Township webmail, which included in part the Planning Commission minutes from 2/18/09, and also a list of a bunch of letters from people who are against the wind turbines. Don't ask me why that was included in the webmail, because I can't see it has anything to do with anything other than showing her bias against them. Maybe we could see if we could have some recipes posted on there too. I called Bob and told him, and he said it was dumb too. He also loved your idea, and so did Lisa. She's all hyped up already. When do we get started?
Just a minute here. That is not an email to this township.
Yeah. It came to this township.
That's good.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have it in my hands. The minutes of the Planning Commission, when do we get started? It can't be until she's been in office for 6 months, but we could start planning ahead. The minutes of the Planning Commission are 8 pages long, and I think they were probably subscribed from the tape recorder they had there, because Valerie sure wasn't taking that many notes, and neither was the secretary, Mary Johnson, unless she has instant recall. Well, so far the winter has been kind of boring, but it's starting to look like we may have 4th of July fireworks before the 4th. I'll keep you posted, and you do the same. The next email came March 11th, and it had, hi you two, tell Lisa and Frank and you guys to come to Lake Township next Monday, March 16th at 6 p.m. It should be a doozy. Tell anyone else you may know. Bob Smith is getting angry. wants to get 4 of our people on a new board, and that was from Deb McBride. And Pat responded, we're all planning on attending and getting there early enough to get a seat. Maybe I'll just take a lawn chair in case. And then Deb responded back, don't forget the popcorn and call anyone who you think will help us. I think we have a group of playbackers that are getting stronger and they have something up their sleeve. That's why we got to be to every meeting there to keep them in line. Following the meeting, the next email, well, what did you think of the meeting? Pretty embarrassing. So what can we do? Drop me some suggestions, Deb. Pat responded, pretty embarrassing is not the word for it. It's ridiculous. Those idiots will not be happy till they somehow have everything their own way. And she is going to see to it that nothing gets done until she has her own way. It's the same thing with the Planning Commission. It's almost like they have something to hide. They don't want anybody new in there looking at what they have been doing. I wonder why. All this stuff about consultations, lawyers, phone calls to England, why don't they just call Donna Schutte and ask her? Conrad and I saw Grace the other day and asked her about noise. Of course, she is quite a ways from them, but she said they aren't a bother at all. We have some friends in California near San Francisco, and she tells me there are no problems whatsoever, except that a certain kind of windmill has been killing some birds, but only because the windmills are so close together. She says they are out there among the cow herds and their electric bill has been constantly going down. For the life of me, I cannot see why they are so against them, can you? And Deb responded, hi, I'm wondering if it isn't a power struggle and Valerie wants to come out the winner. Everyone is talking about Lake Township, and many have said get rid of Valerie. So when that 6 months is up, we'll go at her. Next Monday night is the next meeting. We'll see what happens then. Yvonne Bushy called me on their way to the airport to tell me that they are coming home early from Florida vacation, as she wants to address some of the accusations that were thrown at Louis. She said she is saying things that will throw a doubt in people's minds about Valerie. But I told her she is always so nice that this time she is going to have to grow some long fingernails to get right into Valerie's face. I was sure that Louis had to be pissed the other night at the meeting, and he was. Now their rebuttal comes next Monday night. Stay tuned. I am glad that your Lisa is getting involved, and I will support her in whatever she needs help in. We have to get new and young people involved in our local government. And the last one, April 17th. What is going to happen that I shouldn't miss? I had a Caseville Chamber meeting last night, and Julia and Larry Cruz came up to me and said, don't miss the meeting Monday night. It is going to be a doozy. And bring a fire extinguisher as it will be hot. What's up? Me. I sure did. I replied to the first one under the comments. Maybe she'll dig herself a hole big enough and we won't have to think about a recall. Maybe she'll quit. Wouldn't that be lovely? And maybe she'll take her honey with her. And that was from Pat Pysa.